Trust is one of the pillars of a marriage.
Leave the pillars. When she the fuck outside, you not think of the pillar.
You're not getting the point.
She is getting the point.
Hold on, guys. If you want to make it a policy in your marriage to conduct DNA on your children, the issue of trust will be broken.
Excuse me, please. Excuse me.
What to tell her?
No, hold on.
Once you pay the bride price of a woman, right? Any child conceived of that woman belongs to you.
You know,
if
there are documents. Hold on.
You hold on.
Wait, you hold on. You hold on. Meaning, no be the day where rats chop native doctor back, now him mount the big. Your wife goes around and sleeps with other men. I'm from Akwa Ibom. There is something they call Bonkawo. You slept with your daughter on Monday. Next week, Monday, everybody in the village has smallpox.
If you don't test, how would you know? I have cases I've handled where the woman found out that the man couldn't get it up at all. And I asked, was there anything premarital sex? She said, no, they did the Christian way. Now she's stuck with him for 2 years. What should she do? It doesn't matter that because I have not had another one, I do not understand what my satisfaction should be.
That push and study can actually psychologically give
satisfying.
Yeah, give pleasure to someone who has not had a prior experience before.
I don't agree. You know why I don't agree? What was my satisfaction 10 years ago when I married as a virgin as 25 doesn't mean it will remain when I clock 45.
If my husband no fit carry me go Zilling, maybe I was ill-fated to have entered Zilling.
Welcome to the Honest Bunch podcast. Thank you so much for your support. We're grateful that as we spend time curating great content, you are digesting this content and giving us feedback. We pledge that we will do all that we can to continue to broaden the conversation and allow you take the lead. Now we dey work for. Quick information, it will help you. You see, Carabao Energy Drink Original. If you're a Chelsea fan, take 2 of these things because what you people are going through now, you need energy. And it contains low sugar, so you don't get any problem at all. Carabao, they are back because they know say we get integrity. Now let me now talk about Reseda, real estate. Now wait till all of us, they chook eye inside. But some people, they chook eye and then they enter inside problem because Omonile could give you wahala. You go ask, say, whether the documentation complete problem go dey. Now Reseda don't talk, say, no wahala. And if they come from us, it makes sense. So slide into their DM and just type Honest Bunch. They're going to know, say you be our person, and they would give you the best deals. Then Afri Prize. I beg, I take or beg you. It is good to, buy items, but buy quality items because for some airport, they don't they catch people where they carry fake. And they talk here, you carry pomon skin, things say na crocodile. You get airport where they will stop you from there na prison and you they go. May God not let us walk into
his personal
problems.
shopper.
He say it's my personal shopper that got it for me. Then you personally go and spend some time with 2 portions of rice inside prison. Then for the other information, let me give it to you.
All right, the other information, one of our great sponsors is Adult Nation Entertainment. Adult Nation Entertainment, all material every time they shout, say, the moment the jig is going to win Grammys. The moment the jig is the headline artist for Adult Nation Entertainment. In case you don't know, the moment the jig has a new song, Ojoro featuring Alpha P. And by the way, the winners that will say go and to the page and say, Honest Bunch sent me, Inka sent me. We have 10 winners. The winners now, you are scrolling through the screen now. You see your name now. Now, for the next winning that is going to come, the new song, Ojoro Alpha, featuring Alpha P, just make a video of you vibing to that music. Post it on Instagram, tag me, tag the mommy the jig, and you get the point now. Money is going to what? Flow. Hallelujah.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get to the action. And I would begin with the special introduction. By my immediate right is Ada Zulezu. 60 feet container on the high sea. Ego V nwa www.asankpokoto.com. Ele uku. Ladies and gentlemen, proudly Mwaba, ambassador.
Incoming.
Incoming,
whatever you call it.
First
but
lady. Jollof.
So
Your jollof is still jolloffing.
Yes.
Your skin is still skinning.
Skinning.
And your body is still banging.
Yes, and my bunda will soon bunda.
Okay.
I'm putting in the work.
Ladies and gentlemen, from one beautiful Nigerian woman to another, the baby girl of Lagos.
Come on.
Cool, calm, and collected.
What's up?
Very, very calculating.
That's what's up.
Once she says yes, stop. Everybody agrees with her. Her voice sometimes, some people, when we they talk, they just they mute us. But when they talk, they say, Deity Cole!
Hey guys.
Hey babies!
Oh, hey babies. No, I'm actually trying to make my voice sexy for you guys because of husband material. But hey babies.
Babies. Ladies and gentlemen, our Diopa, the elder brother, a man who has presented himself as a living sacrifice. Where we are today is as a result of a lot of the intense dragging that he has endured. But he would not be deterred.
He has identified as a generator.
As a generator. They have dragged and dragged, but he's undraggable. He's what you call Ojaboko for.
Come on.
Ojonokoku.
Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, a man of enchanting physiognomy, many degrees and characters.
characters.
Nedu Wazobia!
Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
Yes, and Ezugu Chukudi, don't do that. Don't do
What
that.
do you mean?
Stop.
Single chocolate dripping puppy. What are you talking about?
In gyms. You are wearing gyms.
Why are you doing this to me?
The Carabao of Honest Bunch.
Oh my God! Don't do this to me, God. God, it's you alone. I will never drag your position. So, ladies and gentlemen, our guests are fired up and very ready to go. The conversation go hot. In fact, now I'm not going to even tell you now. Now, one question I go you start and I go no say today we won't discuss everything and scatter everywhere. But let me introduce our guest. She is a real estate and family lawyer. And if I job like as I call her like she's a legal luminary. Now what is they describe people like that?
Esquire.
Well read. If to say that time when I write jam the first time, they give me law, I would have called that my learned colleague. But unfortunately,
Jammed you.
Jammed me. But I'm still standing. Ladies and gentlemen, she'll be sharing insight, and I'm very certain that a lot of people would learn from her. Please welcome our first guest, Olamide Onifade. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. It's a
Just
pleasure being
smile,
here.
smile, give the other people. The guy gonna tell the guy, say, are you sure you did not do this? Because this woman, she cannot be lying now. But I don't feel guilty. Our next guest is a thespian par excellence. He has blessed us on our screens with the creative ingenuity that God has imbued him with. And for years, we have learned that if he did body, he did body.
If he didn't there,
Some people are going to be shocked when they discover that the name or the nomenclature that he goes by is not even his name. Yes. A recipient of multiple awards. Not be those awards where we say they go send you. Say, we have done your flyer. Please post it. Then on the 23rd, you collect then you come and say, oh my God, I can't believe I won. God will judge you. This award where we say, if you check the nominees, you go know say that people will be say put in work. But it don't emerge as winner. Ladies and gentlemen, Ime Bishop Umoeke Okon.
You know this? Not that one thing we talk. I know one or two people. I know one mention their name.
but husband material, no.
Some of them I don't know, you don't know. Some of them they watch this thing. Some of them I don't know. Some of them they watch up. Wait, let us say, but we don't nominate you. Just post them so that we'll go get followers. So that we'll get people when they say go follow for this award. They'll come post them. Guys, please vote for me. Then go you announce them on their radio shows and stuff. And then when they call them for when they call climb stage. Oh God. I didn't see this coming. I want the chick on there.
I want to take my mother, my father, the
You
Christ and
didn't see this coming, but you get list.
You don't prepare your speech.
You don't prepare your
You know they make mistakes. Talking about mistakes, ladies and gentlemen, for several years, this this conversation, it just they be like say they get seasoned. Sometimes it go just come the front burner. People go discuss and, then it go back. But it be like say every year it must come. So in January of 2021, some statistics started making rounds on the internet, and are essentially about paternity fraud. And when you look the percentage and the countries where enter for top 3, many people were shocked to find Nigeria on the list. But thankfully, we are not number 1. But we are number 2 after Jamaica.
We're number 2.
Yes, after Jamaica.
Wow.
But the problem is that some people look, maybe the people won't give that, they make mistake. Because we are Jamaicans, we resemble. So if people say they carry our first, give Jamaica, carry their second, give us. But I mean, the stats are really very, very scary.
Staggering.
And the numbers are baffling. Nigeria, they say now 30% paternity fraud, 30%. And we have had, different people.
30% of Nigerians.
30% of Nigerian women don't carry pikin when no belong to the man, give them.
And we're very loyal,
And we are faithful, loyal, and honest.
Very, very loyal.
Exactly. Now, the Jamaica where we even follow for back, them post 34.6%. We carry 30%.
Wow.
So, he will be like, say,
We are chasing them aggressively.
We they walk over, maybe because you say both come from there, now why they see they run for front. But we are working overtime to overtake them.
Yes.
But, I mean, like I said, every year we'd have these conversations. People talk about, paternity fraud, DNA and the likes. So I think a very good place to begin from is to just go straight into it and ask. This problem now when they talk, say, most times if you look firstborn, if you use better eye look firstborn, they're not they really resemble the papa. If you can't live for compound where you don't live for a very long time, the pikin go come they resemble the landlord when the landlord they younger. This. So wait, let's even just go straight into it. This issue of maternity fraud, is it really a problem? Is it something that we must look into, or it is just one of those subjects that people just want to talk about because we want to have these conversations, or we are looking for people to blame? Is paternity fraud in Nigeria something that we should be concerned about?
Well, I don't think it's anything to be concerned about. Because in the first place, these statistics, how did they measure it? What is the measuring?
The indices.
Yes, what are the indices? Because I don't understand. But however, I've been in court a couple of times. And live and direct too. I always witness it.
This issue of paternity fraud.
But why do people call it fraud? Maybe it's paternity mistake.
Paternity mistake.
Which one is fraud? It's not like they set out to be fraudulent. Do you understand? And let me tell you why. Most firstborns is always like that. You know why?
Why?
A lot of women, when they start out to start dating, they always have like 3 boyfriends for different reasons. One, the money, person that will bring money. Second one is the young boyfriend that everybody sees them with. Then maybe they have one in the corner or something. Now, when they want to get married, they have to pick one. In most cases, where the problem arises, they always do send forth. They go to do send forth. So while you are doing send forth, that week of wedding, a lot does happen. You go and do bye-bye to the...
Wait, this send forth we're talking about is
AKA
having
one for the road.
Unprotected sex.
I don't know.
That's what it is.
One for the
Protected.
road.
So by the time they get married, they will not, they won't understand that, okay, what happened? Because you won't really think that maybe that once could have,
Led to pregnancy.
Yes. So
You
in
won't
most
think.
cases,
Nothing.
Unprotected sex now remove the thing they bring.
sometimes miscalculation can happen. But you've heard of twins that belong to 2 different fathers.
Yeah.
It's
The
very
story.
possible.
The story day.
It's very possible. If you sleep with somebody in the morning, unprotected, and you do it the next day with somebody else, it's very possible that 2 ovaries will be fertilized. And you have a set of twins.
Yay.
And it doesn't have to be the same father. So mistake can happen. So I will not say it's fraudulent. I would say it's mistake.
Why are
I
you
think-
saying it's not fraudulent? What are you talking about?
You know, say
Because
she be
most
loyal.
times, no, because most times, no, I'm not talking. I'm not speaking as
Yeah.
a lawyer
As a
in that
legal
regard.
professional.
But sometimes a mistake can happen. That's what I'm saying.
What is the
Because-
mistake? Rain fall for island, flood come plenty, flood come carry you, come enter another person's room. All of a
As
sudden
if
you
they
come
carry
like,
you go. One branch, 3 branch, come on your
cover
clothes.
your clothes. Another
Then
one
another one come pat your
come
two
pat
legs.
your 2 legs. One man too. The thing come put the man go enter. Who? Oh.
You know why I said? No, I was just joking when I said that. But most of the time, it's because of multiple, partners. It's very difficult. A lot of when I was growing up, they say, "Oh, Birelo more and to be more." It's a lie. If you are sleeping with multiple partners, how can you determine who is the father of a child? So in most cases, it's arrangements that causes,
In addition to what you said, right? I think where the fraud comes in is when you realize that you are pregnant and maybe you did your calculation, you realize that okay, the pregnancy is not for your husband. That the pregnancy is not for your husband. Then you still push the baby to the wrong person. That's where
that's
the fraud
fraudulent.
comes in.
Yes.
But yeah, you can continue.
That's absolutely
I think
fraudulent.
that pushing that baby, there is a place that you've crossed the Rubicon already, and you don't want to shame your family or shame yourself. So if the guy has already, like she said, few days to the wedding, you are now going to give them one for the road. Usually you won't realize within that few days of the wedding. You must have already crossed the Rubicon. You've taken the vow and you've entered the marriage itself. Now you realize that this baby might not. But you know that oftentimes than none, the woman does not even know that the baby doesn't belong to
That's why I said it
to the
might
man.
not be fraudulent.
Yes. It is when the case now arises, maybe they want to travel or something happens that they need to now go do DNA, that they now realize. Because like you said, if it happens 2 weeks, now wait now. If you go, wait.
Oganedu,
No,
wait,
are you
oh.
listening? Oganedu, see, if you decide that you just want to play around and somebody is going to marry you on Saturday and you are going to sleep with another person on Monday, the one that entered has entered. Then you now sleep with your husband that Saturday. And
They
it's,
can't even sleep on Saturday
relax.
because they'll be tired.
No, what? Some people still
Energy.
want to, So
Then
if it
means that
happens,
their MC did not do it right. But normally your MC is supposed to ensure that you are drained. But go on.
so if you now sleep with your husband on Saturday, you are not going to start noticing that you're pregnant in the next week. You've entered the marriage. And pregnancy will start showing maybe like in 3 weeks ahead, you start noticing. So you don't know the exact one that actually works.
Shots.
And then the marriage goes on and the man believes that the pregnancy is his. And you might as well still believe maybe you took contraceptive and the contraceptive did not work. Most times, for some people, it might not work. You take it and it doesn't work. And you think that it worked because you did it on Monday and it has cleared by Thursday. Then you go in with your husband on Saturday. And you now feel that pregnancy belongs to your husband. Some actually play out like that. And you live years and years. And in some cases, the child might as well, if he's a boy, boys usually look like their mothers. And if the child looks like you, the husband might not even really bother to ask questions or think that the baby does not look like him. And then you go into the marriage and you live with the child for 10 years, sometimes 15. When it's now time, maybe an emergency happens and the urgency, there's a need of DNA and the man checks. I actually know some men too that find out that the children are not theirs and they don't raise alarm. They just keep quiet and keep training the children because
Bishop,
they don't want
over
to
to
lose
you.
the children. They've already had that attachment with the children. It's family secret.
Bishop, over to you. Because legal
barrister,
luminary.
the legal luminary in our midst, rightly said. Because I like asking questions why. Okay, they say Nigeria is second,
Yes.
in the list of
DNA paternity
countries
fraud.
or societies with
fraud.
with paternity fraud. List according to who? How can I say, why will you justifiably claim to hold them in position of authority as far as that pronouncement is concerned? Who are they? to make that kind of, or to
Claim.
give that kind of numbers. What are the indices? How many Nigerian women are there? How numerically, how many are we as females? How many women get pregnant? Statistically, in a year. How many give birth in hospitals? How many do DNA tests? Okay, and first of all, internally, it should be something that is verified by National Bureau of Statistics. Yeah. Is it vetted by a National Bureau of Statistics? How did you come about this information?
It could be.
It's okay. If it is, that means
I mean, for it to be
on the internet.
on the internet.
For it to be on the no, come on. Anything,
No.
Any
No,
crap
like
can
he
be
said-
out there on the internet. So
Everything
who-
is on the internet,
Who
actually.
published it? Whose list is it? Is the name credible? There are some names like Transparency International, United Nations, World Health Organization.
Yes.
If they put up numbers, then you can hold them in position of authority and say, okay, fine, this is the case according to this, and then you can actually make common sense because you refer to them as an authority as far as that numbers is concerned, But in this case, I don't know who they are. I don't know how they arrived at that number. Okay, for me, it is still arguable. Nigerian women are good women.
Very.
Let's not make mistakes. And I particularly would not want to take the spotlight in shedding Nigerian women, or saying things that, make it look like we are very morally bankrupt as a people with specific regards to our women, But every societal problem has an origin. The moment our cultural heritage was watered down, okay? Not trying to say that most of the things that we held as practice back in the day before the advent or before the coming of the white man was 100% correct. But there were good ones. There were ones that were very good, okay? Yeah, call it a patriarchal society, but there were some merits in them.
Are you trying to say a man with more than one wife?
No. I'm not going there. I'm not
Okay.
going there. I'm not going there. It's not in sync with contemporary societal day realities.
Okay.
Now, back in the day, a woman only gets married as a virgin, and sex was the prize.
Yeah.
Yes.
I only want to marry you because at the top of the list of why I want to marry you is because you're beautiful and sexy and I want to have sex with you. Yes, sex was the prize, for God's sake. And then you break the bank, prove your worth to the family of the woman that, you're worthy enough for them to hand their daughter over to you in marriage, and then you marry, then you go and split the legs. And if you dare have sex as a woman without being a virgin, oh, come on. You'll feel the sledgehammer. You'll feel it. Your body will tell you. And as a man, you think that you can be quick, all right? The lady will not let go. And then you force yourself on her, damaging another person's legitimate chance of having a legitimate bride. You go face some.
There's
Okay.
a punishment. Maybe.
Yeah. There was a punishment. And it was near fatal or maybe fatal. So the society was controlled. Our moralities were controlled based on those norms. So it decreased the existence of doubts. So someone can get married to even 17 wives. All right? And then at no point in time, even if the person does not resemble or look like the father in any way, there will be not even a little shadow of doubt will erupt that this child is not mine. So right now, the issue of DNA is a very serious question on the morality and the sexual chastity of the woman. apart from therapeutic reasons or legal reasons.
I'm sorry to button. I was going to say that I don't believe that in those days there weren't, issues of this paternity fraud. But what I would think is that at that time there were no scientific methods
To check.
Wait, listen to me. Huh? Ha! Look, in my place, I'm from Akwa Ibom. There is something they call Egbonkawo. It is a deity of justice. Okay, like I said, call it patriarchal because it leaned more
To the man.
Okay, yeah, to the man. Now this is what Egbonkawo does. All right, you're a man. Okay, and then it checks your family and your marriage to ensure, okay, that your wife does not sleep with another man that is not you. And you as a man, okay, you should be a man and not a male human being.
Okay.
So your wife goes around, sleeps with other men, brings money, goes to the market, buys food, and comes to cook for you to eat. It shows you're a vegetable of a man, And then your ancestral lineage to the beginning will frown. How did he become a part of us? Because you have shielded her, okay, from being publicly chastised, you take the fall, you die.
I heard it.
But if you expose her, okay, and then she gets punished for doing that, she's the one who takes the fall. She dies. So punishment is always a deterrent to crime, no matter how you look at it. So the society at that time was controlled. I will not say that in mathematical exactitude it applied to every single person. There would be one minimal exception. But it is so minuscule, okay, for you to say that, or for you to define a whole society based on that terms. So it worked in practice, and when, the culture of, Western, liberalism came in, you could sample before you buy. When I mean buy, please, not commercial in the sense of going to pay money and buy, like I'm being figurative and sarcastic, I beg, please, So you can sample, let me have 9 girlfriends first and test the one that is better before I take home, And then the girls also, because they also have a right to sample. And then it becomes a norm. The societal morality begins to be watered. You erode the sediments of morality, and before you know it is bare. And now we have grown into the culture of mind your business. It is mind your business. Well, the African community was, arguably is, a very communal society where one man's problem is every man's problem. Your business is my business is your business. I go to the market, I keep my baby with you. I go to the market, I come out there. I know that you will beat up my child if he goes to to
messes
play,
up.
and that's it. A whole village trains a child. Because everybody morally and culturally looked alike. So now we have grown into the culture of mind your business. So it is mind your business that has kept us in the position that we are today, currently. Mind your business. Mind your business. And now, where are the boundaries? Where are the lines? So this culture of mind your business may take us to a point that you can actually see someone behead somebody and then you walk away. After all, it is not my family member that they are beheading. It is not my brother they are molesting. Okay, what's my business? Waiting carry and come out for night. May she go, waka go.
Why she dressed like
why
that?
she dressed like that? Those kind of things. So it is a whole chain reaction. It's a whole chain reaction. So I always say, I like tracing the problem to the roots. And I believe from my own personal submission, I'm not trying to say that my findings are incontestable, no, or indubitable. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying that, in my own opinion, it is the watered down morality over time in our society that has brought about these elements of doubts, okay, that paternity tests and the need of it is heightened and prioritized.
I totally agree with you 150%.
I totally agree with you.
Why I would lean a bit also to her is I wouldn't say paternity fraud was not in existence before. I would just say, like she said, there was probably no means of checking if a child was yours then. Maybe the idea and we not just know. Because right now, off the top of my head, I can't tell you that this now waiting then take the check whether person pay, or that they go say make you match this thing, jump on past this thing.
Especially deity, there's like a
yes.
deity.
Now those deities, now I know I quite one. This is not the first time I hear. The one why I know. Now Delta State own.
Yes.
Even in Benin.
It's the same
You understand?
type. It's the
So
same.
women, you go see some people go tell you say no, our tradition woman not fit sleep outside. If you sleep outside,
Your
it-
husband will die.
your husband go die. And most times that time, you go see when them, I don't know which people they do them. When they marry, they go say, you go see people they wait for you for outside, carry your wife enter inside. When you can't sleep with her, they can't go check the bed if blood dey. If blood not dey, then go shout, hey, person don't chop am, person don't chop am, and then it becomes something. Like he said, when wahala dey, there should be punishment. If punishment not there, it go continue. And another thing where they cause most of the problem, like he said, may we cover and make shame not there. Now the same thing where they cause make a lot of people they get away with rape. They make a lot of fathers where they sleep with their daughters, they get away with them.
Culture of silence.
Culture of silence is what is leading to where we are today. I cannot count how many cases has come to me where papa sleep with daughter.
And wife no one.
And wife no one. You go call. Ma, I want to talk to you. How do we so you go say then go to quarrel the pikin. Why you they bring our family leg?
Nah,
Why you they embarrass
family
us?
secrets.
Leave us now family thing. And I was handling the program the other day on the radio. And then Baba, it shocked me. A lot of women were saying, now no what for papa to give woman a daughter belle.
How?
It dey happen.
Nedu?
So
Incest.
yes.
Nedu, see, let me tell you something.
It's everywhere.
There is sin. Okay? There is abomination. Okay? There is sin, wrongdoing, transgression. All right? There's a pro-max of it called abomination. Do you understand? Now, back in the day, those deities that spiritually governed and presided over the affairs of those climes.
Yeah.
All right. Were fashioned in such a way that, or justice was administered, in such a way that, forget about culture of silence. You sleep with your daughter. It's fine. Meaning, no be the day where rat chop native doctor back, na him mount the big. You slept with your daughter on Monday. Next week, Monday, everybody in the village has smallpox.
Then they start looking for who?
Everybody! Because now you've desecrated the land. That land is toxic. Anyone who steps on that land, that area, that climb, has stepped on sin that the deity cannot behold. So at that point in time, the oracle is going to be consulted. What is going on? The king's wives, everybody, even the king has small pox. It is so person. The lot falls on so person's house. Everybody in that house is summoned. Come here. What happened? Speak, or when the investigation points to you, you will die. It is either somebody will confess or they will be made to confess. And then, come on, single out the virus, isolate it, and then the host, the body, okay, is free. Isolate the virus, kill it, then everybody's free. Now that's it. They kill you, and then take you to the evil forest. Excommunicate you spiritually and physically, and keep you, because what you did was sacrilege, what you did was evil. So they keep you where your kind should be.
Some people need to say they banish you.
It's okay. So it's now it's a banishment. You go to the court. My sister
and
here.
leniency is what is making it go further.
Some people like my sister will argue, say no, that person has an inalienable right to freedom of association. How can you ban him? And I know, how can you banish him from a society? It messes with his mental health and blah and blah and blah and blah and blah. It was not good. It had many demerits, but I believe even if by an inch of a mile, okay, the merits outweighed the demerits back in the day.
I want to ask a question. Is it not relative to say this? Because what could be an abomination to a particular clime could also not be an abomination to another clime. Mm-hmm. Because I've heard that in some places, cousins marry cousins.
Mm-hmm.
Like in my place, if you want to marry a guy, they will trace you back to the 10th generation. That is from the generation where you can marry somebody. If it's 4th generation, your blood is still, people are still close. So you can't marry or have anything to do with the person. Should we also say that urbanization, rural urban migration has tampered with this sacred thing, this beautiful thing that you have explained? Because I'm in Lagos and I meet, because the morality of people now trying to be virgins before they marry. If we try to be virgins before we marry, perhaps what I'm going to say now would not happen. But rural urban migration, my parents have moved to Lagos, or I have moved to Lagos now. Then I meet somebody else that also came from the East. I don't know how we are related, whether we are up to that 10th generation. And we have already, because the idea of being a virgin before you get married has already been wiped away, almost.
It's not fashionable.
It's not fashionable, yes, sorry. So we're already now getting intimate. And when we now go back to the village, we say we want to marry. And they trace it back. They are now saying that you two cannot marry. But you guys are saying we two cannot marry because we are not supposed to have sex. But we have been having sex in Lagos.
In addition to what she's saying.
Because you did it away.
So could we say rural urban migration has... It almost renders that.
To support what she's saying so that you can answer the question, I handled a case on the radio 2 weeks ago. These people, then Canada, so they reached out. In fact, it wasn't the two of themselves that reached out. It was a friend of the guy that reached out because the guy listens to us on radio. They met in college. Him and his wife. They met in college. They got married. They have 2 kids. Now, the woman they get kidney issue. Kidney. When they get kidney issue, now so they rush the woman go hospital. Now, make them go check. They wait for donor. Person go come give you kidney. They no see. Then the man say, okay, make him check whether he own. When they can't check he own, then see say he own they like 80% or 90% match. When he be say normally they say suppose they like 10% or and I'm not sure. When they can't check, apparently now he half sister.
Jesus.
Now he be that person. So he knows that he was giving away for adoption at a young age. He was giving away for his adoption. And his adopted parents don't die. So now he half sister. So this guy now, why he reached out to us, he didn't know if he should still go ahead and give the kidney. Or for 2 weeks, he had not seen the family, the sister/wife. He never see him.
Did they have children?
2 kids.
My God.
So a lot of people were now advising, I leave him. That was when they now started saying, oh, now no matter, even mama, papa, they give daughter belle. So then now, a lot of people that were now advising on the show that day was like, at least make he save the girl first of all, make he donate the kidney and all those things. All people come they talk, say, make them go back to their village, make them do this one, make them do that one, make them go back to their village. Which is why I agree with what she's saying. Urbanization.
What about egg donor and all this?
donor?
Yes. When a man can donate as much as 10, 50 of his sperm. And what about that? A lot of children in all this situation is going to happen.
It will happen.
Well, is it like natural selection? Well, see. That's a very serious ethical issue. It's a serious ethical issue. You were let me react to what you said about this half sister thing. It's a pointer to the fact that ignorance is bliss.
But you no go kill you.
Ignorance is bliss.
Some people even say now when they don't know if they continue, will somebody go die? But because they didn't know.
Ignorance.
That's what some people said.
They don't born two children already.
There are lots
No, I
of.
don't think they should continue.
No, they can't.
Yeah,
no.
it's see, it's.
But there are some
marriage
cultures
can
that
be-
people marry their cousins.
There are
There are some cultures that people
siblings.
marry their
I
cousins.
don't. You don't get what I will travel go village.
But
I go suck. Oh,
You suck your cousin, Bobby.
I did. I didn't know. I'm serious. I'm sorry to cut you, my brother. I didn't know. Now years ago, why they shake head? When was it?
Exactly.
So no, I no suck. I press breast.
Don't
Daddy
reverse
said
it.
No,
Yes.
I no suck. No. I press. Now my cousin open now. I got him say, why they press? That press. This was when I did secondary school self, like just
you
so
go
why they press it?
spoil.
Say, Baba, I quick spoil. I quick like breast. Because say, me I no say that my cousin be that. Say no. I no near am again.
Okay.
And
You
she doesn't
understand?
know as well. She didn't know back then.
I'm a my don't aware.
Well. See, I just believe ignorance is bliss.
Do you think?
No,
do you
because,
think?
sorry, I wanted him to react to this.
Oh, yeah,
that I said about
sorry for
different
cutting you.
cultures.
Yeah, that it's true. You know, there. You see, if a particular act or action or inaction is permissible,
Then it's not an abomination.
yeah, in a culture, if it is a normal practice there, okay, yeah, it is. It's fine, but you have to make some kind of commonsensical analysis. All right. Is this very particular action or inaction universally frowned at? What is the extent of the universality? Okay, in a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the least and 10 being the highest, is it frowned at 9 out of 10 climbs? If it is, it's wrong. Everyone cannot be wrong at the same time.
What if you see this? Did this DNA thing what they talk about? Bishop, you went ahead to say about which I honestly agree. I wish we can all go back to our cultures and do things the way they are, but it's impossible. It's not gonna happen. Now, these days you hear people tell you all sorts. They give you all sorts of reasons why they should not be virgins. Why they should have sex before marriage. Oh, what if we are not sexually compatible? What if this? What if that? Hold on. What if he's not he's not, his machine gun is not rising to the occasion? What if he's not rising to the occasion? What if all those things? And then some school of thought will tell you that it is best for you to test to at the on mic now. At the hear what people they tell me on a daily. My ear they full. You the day radio sometimes you they hear. Then go some people I go test to before I marry you. Now when you contest, you don't test before you marry. And the truth is, say, what are the chances that person where you test or taste go marry you? Once he don't test you, he don't go. Another person can't come. Now ball hold that person drill. Another person can't come. Can't drill another ball. And if he be say the person who first drill the ball hole in tools is Eva. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Analysis.
I'm sorry. No, get
closes back.
Get me. Maybe they close back. I don't know. I don't get pickles, so I don't know. Then You can't mind the person now. We can't tell you to say, as you come begin to do. You can't find out, say, the person will first give you, the person they really give you, burglary proof size, lymph style, and everything. You need to knock on this with you. You can't get reason to they go outside.
Organic.
And as you get reason to isn't the wait. As you can't get reason to they go outside, chances they say you go fit carry belle. Come tell person say, now you get the belle. And because the person believes say he marry you, he know can they ask you. The person know can they ask you, oh, this belle where you carry. Now me get them or not me get them. You get the point now.
I think this just sorry, Tom. I think this just takes us back to what he said initially. You can't miss what you've not tried before. If you are a virgin and you meet a man, he's your husband, and you live with him for the rest of your life, you don't know which two is bigger
How
than
many
the
people
other.
be virgin now?
No, I'm just saying. I'm trying to, like, you know, how he said that some people say testing. Why are you testing? If you stay intact and you meet one person, you can't.
You just say if you stay intact. How many people they stay intact?
But
my sister wanted to say something.
You can't write out. You can't write off what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if you are intact and you marry,
That's why she say if.
you cannot
Miss what
say.
you.
You can't
I
say
agree.
if your husband's genital
Tools.
is small
I
or
agree.
big, because that is the standard that you have been introduced to.
I
The
agree.
only time
I don't agree.
No,
I don't agree.
If you're it's tiny, you are a virgin. No, you are a virgin, and something goes in. Is that size, right? The only time you can go back to say, oh, he tastes better or this one looks better is if you have also enjoyed another
Others.
experience.
No,
Sorry,
not
please.
entirely.
Yeah.
Not entirely. Because
Okay,
there are
okay.
cases where the man cannot even get it up at all. So
That's
what
a
happens
different
in that
case.
situation?
That's different.
No, if you don't test, how would you know? I have cases I've handled where the woman found out that the man couldn't get it up at all. And I asked, was there anything premarital sex? She said, no, they did the Christian way. Now she's stuck with him for 2 years. What should she do?
That's a medical condition.
So we're now going to test
hold
it now.
on. But the issue is that it wasn't tested. She got into the marriage and found out that he couldn't get it up. So it's not even about the size alone. And sexual performance is also an issue. It doesn't matter that because I have not had another one, I do not understand what my satisfaction should be.
Excuse me, please. Let me tell you. Let me make an analogy. Hold on. Let me tell you. Let me make an analogy.
Please
You understand?
do. Please do.
Of the psychological role or the role of the psyche, all right, in sexual satisfaction. This is a lip. It's an organ, in the body. There is nothing sensual about the lip. If there was anything, the lip is not like the nipple. It's not like the clitoris. You understand? It's not like, it's not like, the penile area. Okay? If the lip was sensual, the moment food or water passes through it and then you lick it, you do, you gasp for air. But what makes people run out of breath when one lip massages the other? If not psychological.
So you're saying it's
What I'm saying is, having lived in here, if you can find and navigate your way, your psyche around pleasure, okay? Hang on, your psyche around pleasure, okay? That push and start dick,
Yeah, push and stop.
yeah, that push and start dick, can actually psychologically give
satisfying.
give pleasure to someone who has not had a prior experience before.
I don't agree. You know why I don't agree? People outgrow each other every day. What was my satisfaction 10 years ago when I married as a virgin as 25 doesn't mean it will remain when I clock 45.
But who told you also that you would match up to his satisfaction if he lives with you for over years too? Because we are talking
that's
about
subjective. What I'm saying about
Did you marry as virgin?
No, I didn't.
Okay, sorry. I didn't think of.
No,
I don't know what I had
didn't.
to talk.
Though I had a child early at 22, but I didn't marry as a virgin.
Know what I'm saying? So what makes you think that someone who married... Look, when I say married as
No,
a
I have
virgin...
seen virgins come to my office to complain about satisfaction.
Which virgin?
Now,
I have seen
I want
clients
to ask
come
you-
to me
Good.
and complain bitterly that their husband cannot satisfy them anymore. What you know when you were 25 is different from when you are 45. So sexual libido and all that increases, it changes over time.
Do you know that to some people, with regards to women, okay, what they call virginity means a man has not used
Penetrated.
to penetrate
Organ
me.
penetration,
Do you
yeah.
understand? What if there are other forms of maybe objects?
Candle or
Yes,
something.
penetration. So that is just the truth. See, all these things. The issue of
wait,
virginity is.
but wait, Ezinne was saying something that if something where you never try,
That is it
you
now.
cannot miss. But what of in the cases? Because I've heard some gist. You're going to be in some settings. You go hear some ladies, they talk. So, you never squirt before. They never handle you well now.
Thank you.
They never handle you well. Wait, make person wey sabi handle you. And in most cases, when that person will get the right tools, right drilling machine, handle you well. Remake miracle worker, promise keeper.
And wait, excuse me. Now, see, a man is a product of his information. Do you understand? That is why even the Bible says you should guard your heart. Bad communication corrupts good manners. Now, you're sitting down as a virtuous woman, a virtuous wife, in somebody's house. You're entertaining gist from people.
Wait, Ezinne is shaking her head.
Yes,
You're
something
entertaining
behind my
gist
head.
from people who are rainmakers. Now, listen to me.
No, but people have this conversation.
I'm saying, I know, but I'm saying it's still a product of bad communication. Now listen to me.
Bad communication.
Bad communication corrupt good manners now.
How is that a bad communication? The fact that you want to find your sexual pleasure. You get some women will get them say, they don't know what the orgasm.
Nedu, listen to me.
Okay.
I'm not talking about sexual adventure here. Okay? We are talking about the scope was on a couple, a married couple.
Yes.
You are married. You don't, what do you call it, Rubicon? You don't cross her.
Yes.
Do you understand? You're here. You're in this other side of the divide. Okay? And then someone is coming to tell you, you have not seen squirting to the ceiling. I don't miss him. If my husband no fit carry me go ceiling, maybe I was ill-fated to have entered ceiling. Do you understand? That is just the truth. In maybe my next life, if I cannot recalibrate his sexuality, okay, to be, to be selling water inclined, all right?
My legal luminary, I want to ask you, do you
Then
agree
so be
to
it.
these things?
That what?
That what you have not tasted, you cannot miss.
I strongly disagree.
So why do you disagree?
Because of people's experiences. I
What?
say to you that
Bishop, wait,
people,
let her.
I know a client who married at the age of 18 and she clocked 37. She married as a virgin.
Okay.
And at 37, she was already out of the marriage because of sexual satisfaction.
I
The
want to say
husband could not satisfy her. The fact that she married as a virgin doesn't mean she should not grow and her expectations will not grow.
Okay, now, listen,
Now,
please.
Listen, Bishop,
Forming
please,
her
I beg, not vex.
Maybe
I want to ask. Now, why?
After 5 children.
After 5 children.
After 5 children.
Yes,
hold on,
at the
hold
age
on,
of 37, she wanted out of the marriage.
Please. After having that conversation with
Yes.
her, did you ask her what led her to the point where she's no longer satisfied with the tools that she was using before to satisfy herself?
Well, I think that in marriages, people tend to take each other for granted. Of course, the husband, especially when you marry somebody as a virgin, it's very easy for you to take that person for granted. She does not know anything. I married her as a virgin. She was 19. The husband might not be satisfying her anymore. And men, of course,
What if
that
she lies?
means don't forget that men too expire.
How? Don't you think she must have? Because
Yes,
I subscribe to what she's saying and what Bishop said.
I don't agree.
No, it's okay. What do you never try? You not feel miss. How, don't you think she must have lied to you? Burning Pekin, they expand how the machine gun they enter. Do you think that is possible?
Some men get lazy over time. Some of them with, health issues and all that, they can't get it up anymore. They can't satisfy their wife. So it doesn't mean that because she's a virgin, her satisfaction, she wouldn't know when she wants more.
What if she lied to you that she's had only him, for the years that they've been together? What if she lied to you?
I cannot decipher that.
How many other cases have you had to have gotten to the point?
Different cases.
Can you give us
women? I speak to women every day.
I know. Can you give me another because the thing, I need to understand your chain of thought, why you think it's like this, because you must have had these. What do you know? How many people have you met?
People outgrow each other in marriages. In most cases, most of the time, cases I handle, if you look at it from head to toe, it's people, and I do a lot of grey divorces now. And what is grey divorce? Is people who are divorcing in their old age. I have a client of 60-something years old. She wants to divorce. I have in her 50s.
Why?
Because people outgrow each other. And this time and age, there's no, how do I call it?
Endurance.
Yes, our endurance level, the social media, the world has become smaller. Everybody can channel their rights now. And people are increasingly becoming aware of themselves. Because I strongly disagree that because you marry as a virgin, your expectations in that marriage will not outgrow each other. It will. At a certain point, it will.
You said something.
Yes.
You said something. You said, when he asked you, and you said he was no longer doing what he used to do, which means he depreciated in pace.
Yes.
If he had the same pace for as long,
yes,
I think that she wouldn't have outgrown him.
Yes.
That's it. So you answered the question already.
You didn't put that
Okay,
clause.
so what's the question? Okay, maybe I didn't get it properly.
If you say that if you marry as a virgin,
yes,
and he has been on that frequency that he started with you until the very end, I'm not sure there will be something you will look back to.
There's nothing to miss.
Do you understand?
I don't agree.
But if
that
he
there's nothing
now
to miss.
depreciates,
I don't think I
it's
agree.
just like when they marry you used to wear bomb shorts and be hot, and then one day he comes back, you're tying wrapper. He starts to miss the bomb short woman.
What if she dey use?
But if when he married you, you have always been a rapper.
What if she dey use dildo? She not tell you.
I was trying to tell you.
What if na dildo she dey use? Because all this dildo what they do now, where be like
can I say something, please? Can I say
Yeah,
something?
yes,
Husband material, please. What's the topic again?
DNA issues.
DNA issues and what's because I feel we are diverting too
We're
much.
digressing,
but we're saying the community.
I want to say one of the reasons that might be I'm against giving someone else's child to another man.
Yes.
Right? So I want to say one of the reasons that I feel might be the cause as well. Mother-in-laws. When they are on the neck of their daughter-in-laws that, give us a child, give us a male child, give us a female child. And maybe their son is infertile. Like that. And the son is begging the wife that, please, don't let this go out. Like, let's just do something. I saw one TikTok of a guy begging the best friend that they should sleep with his wife so they can have a child together or something. And they interviewed the wife. The wife was saying she wasn't in agreement before, but since that's what her husband wants, Uganda,
very popular documentary.
That if that's what her husband wants, no problem. Now that they are putting it out there, the way people would have judged them if they didn't know that the husband was involved as well is different from the way people were looking at them. So that's also part of.
And they are
we need to look at like
Deity.
different examples like that, but still, it doesn't make the whole concept like
and there are plenty of. There's another one that I want to add before you react to it. Yeah, we are just sometimes scared to mention the people that swing on the other side. Most of the times, they find out that they get into the marriage and she finds out that, this person plays for this other club. They might tell you,
this person is bisexual
or gay.
The man plays for the other club. You understand?
He's bisexual.
Bisexual.
And he plays for another club, not playing for this club. But they don't marry. And you understand what I'm saying? I don't know if you've had case like that. And she now finds out, this man does not like Kuntu. I've heard one or two times where then I say, okay, he's okay. Just don't leave him.
Of course.
And she'll tell you, just be going outside.
Yes.
Be going. How you have cases like that?
Of course. I've heard. I've not had one personally, but I've heard.
So
I've had cases like
that might just be but in that case, the man not get right to shout DNA.
That is why it's not in every case that a third party can challenge the paternity of a child. That is why I'm against it. Because people have different means how they procure children these days. I am into fertility law, so I see that every day. Some people agree to have sperm, to go to the sperm bank. If the husband, if his sperm is low, they can. It's an agreement between them. So it's a private issue. And a third party cannot come and contest the paternity of a child on behalf of the parent. It is wrong. I have seen a client, I've drafted one where the husband, yes, it was a husband's sperm, but was a donor egg that we used. The mother is the gestational mother because she was inseminated with that egg, but she's not the genetic mother. So if in any case, in future, you want to do a DNA of that, the maternity of that child, you will not, but she's a natural mother. And the law covers her. So it's not for
that's in rare cases now, isn't it?
It's not a rare case. Nedu, it's not. It happens every day.
Surrogacy.
We are in this business. Yes, infertility, you see it every day. So you think for every woman that you find a baby in their tummy, they're genetically connected to that child? Even fathers. Do you think it's every father that is genetically connected to the child in the womb of his wife? No. And it is increasing in Nigeria. These are alternative methods to having children, and there's nothing wrong in it. It's a private arrangement.
But what if the case of maybe the man dies?
Yes.
And it causes a problem later.
That is the issue. That is why a third party cannot question the paternity of a child.
Excuse first.
It's a private matter.
Well, call it a private matter. Call it not. When it is a private matter, no doubt about it. Okay. But we are not just a nuclear setting in Nigeria or an African society. Okay. A man comes to your house, to your family to marry you.
With his people.
You get that man is inconsequential. He can't talk. He doesn't even at that event have a will of his own. It is his father that marries you, not to the man, but to the family. So that is why when you get married, you don't get married to the man, you get married to his brothers. Everybody, you get married to the family. Hence, the assertion, our wife.
Brother-in-law, sister-in-law.
Yes, our wife. That is the only thing you do not share with them, is your body.
They might be able to share that one.
No, now. How about wait
our wife
now? Our wife.
They should be able to share that.
Our wife.
No, they should be able to share that.
Being a wife doesn't involve only sex now.
So then why the product of that activity, why should it now be open to a third party scrutiny?
You mean the product of that activity?
Yes, because you don't know the private arrangement they have within themselves.
Okay, now if there is a private arrangement you had within yourself, it's more or less like a will. Okay, where is your witness?
No, there are some documents. Sometimes.
If there are documents, hold on. You hold on. Wait, you hold on. You hold on. Wait.
There are some times that when you prepare such an agreement, it can be open or closed.
Okay.
It depends on the agreement you have.
Sorry, how do you the distinction between open and close?
Yes.
When you say the agreement is close.
Between both of us, and it is close to a third party, right? Okay. For some people, it is open. To third parties, for scrutiny, they don't mind. They tell that this is how this child was,
is it somebody
conceived.
In the family? Or maybe somebody, is it, for example,
to medical,
the problem,
officers, the personnel and all of that, yes. For adoption, I'm sorry, even for adoption, some adoptions are open, some adoptions are closed.
Interesting. It has its merits.
I am coming from the angle, right, that it is a very private arrangement. It's a
When you got the
Hold
first person outside, don't
Hold
come.
on.
No. She dey explain the
I'm
situation when it
saying
results in that kind of thing.
People are now going through different method. Hold on, Nedu. Different methods to conceive children. So you can't rule it out that once a child is not genetically connected to the parent, then
Please,
it's not a child of that family.
Nedu, wait.
It is only the two people that arrange the conception of that child.
We did lose one
that
thing.
can. Okay, what is it?
Excuse, Nedu, hold on. See, nobody is saying that you can only lay claims to one being a child if and only if alone you are genetically connected to the child. We are making it look like, we are all Western people.
You understand?
There was a traditional marriage.
We're
First
not.
of, let's be sincere.
But you use
Hang on
Western
first.
methods to conceive the child.
Hold on
It's
now.
no more traditional.
Listen, this is, I went to go marry a woman. Okay, that is an addition to our family.
Agreed.
The products of that union are additions to our family. It is assumed that the children are biologically connected to the family. In the event that it is not so, okay, please, to avoid any doubt, okay, keep the document, like you're saying, open at least to only members of the family. That this is what happened, though, okay, and then this, and I have a right to do this because this is my immediate family. And I believe that in as much as this decision is valid for me, this child is also a bona fide and legitimate member of this family.
Extended family.
Of also the extended family. Now, one of the reasons to show that a man is responsible is the decisions that you make that will not throw the family into turmoil after you're gone. That's the truth. It shows you're an organized and a responsible man. It is only an irresponsible man that will create problems on the family, you understand, carnage when he dies and passes on. Doesn't know how to put his family together.
So what's your point?
My point is, be a man and not a male human being.
So are you saying that
be a man, know how to put your family together, communicate. If you know you are impotent, you cannot you cannot biologically father a child.
So I should tell my entire family I can't do that.
There are at least one member of your family you should tell. Maybe your brother, your bestie of your brother. You understand? Someone.
We keep missing something.
Someone, tell someone so that in case you die tomorrow, do you understand? And then the paternity of that child is in question. Your brother can come and say, look, this is actually what happened. I was communicated to. All right, I am a witness to this. Yes. I can vouch today as the father of this child because you have to be, because man was created in the image of God. What does God do?
Saying?
God is a defender of the weak. That member of the family, if he has any honor in him, do you understand, will stand in defense of that child.
Yes.
That look, I was communicated to.
With you.
Yeah, I was communicated to. This child is a bona fide member of this family, and this child is my child, our child.
I'm sorry, I want to say something. I maybe not only may they think this thing. We all keep forgetting that these DNA issues that we have, that we are talking about, most of the times in this age and time, now unfaithfulness of the woman and the little DNA issues.
Your issue is a very small thing.
The way you are trying to defend it is making it look like, any woman went to him. No, it's unfaithfulness of the woman.
Nedu.
Now, woman, when are they satisfied with that?
Nedu, hold on. I was coming from another angle of genetic connection with children. That it's not in all cases that it's a result of unfaithfulness. I have not undermined the issue of unfaithfulness.
Okay.
Never will I do that. Okay. I was just coming from another angle based on my experience that for most children in the family that you see these days have different ways.
If I ask you something now, I have two questions. One of them is, in most of the cases, your fertility lawyer and stuff, DNA issues and stuff you do it, most of the cases you have handled, our Nigerian women are wonderful.
Thank you. You said that before you bash us.
No, serious. Let us be sincere. No, let us all be sincere. Forget about it. You understand? You know, like I said, bad news travels half around the world, while good news is just tying a shoelace.
So let us say the way it is.
Small few minute school ones, you understand, cannot discredit the whole beautiful and morally upright Nigerian women. That's just the truth. Nigerian women are good.
1,001, absolutely. 1,001 Nigerian women that are upright, that we know.
Okay, go to your point.
The question is, in most of these cases where you handle, I want a divorce, this one, the DNA issues that you've handled, how many times is it the fault of the man? Please be honest.
In what regard?
It doesn't have to be in regard.
No, what's your question? That when it comes to the issue of unfaithfulness
and the DNA issues, and they find out, this child is not. How many times has it turned out to be the fault?
No. Sorry. Don't coin the question like that.
Thank you. Because I really don't understand.
Okay, help me recoin them.
Justify paternity fraud.
I can't justify it.
Okay.
It's not justifiable. You can't defend
That's
it.
what we're talking about.
Hold on, Bishop, hold on. Listen, this affects lives. It affects the children, the lineage of the children, parentage, psychologically. So it destroys lives. So I'm not defending it. I am just coming from another angle that it is not in every case that is as a result of unfaithfulness.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously.
That it is not open to a third party.
Yes.
To question the paternity of a...
What she's saying is that agreement can be open or closed.
Yes.
Sorry, you said it is not...
It is not for a third party to query the paternity of a child whose paternity is not disputed by both parents.
That's
That
the
is
point
just
now.
my point.
So
It is
people
not
feel
left-
conceived through other means.
Other means.
But no
Which
other
not
person
as a
will know.
result of
Agreement
what-
fit the when they
Yes.
close. When no they open
So
to
are
a
you trying
third
to say
party.
that one parent can't dispute the paternity of a child?
It is for both parents that have parental responsibility. As a parent,
What if the man does not? What if the man does not trust?
You know they understand
you
the
are
talk.
not
A third party.
a third party. I'm not saying that.
Maybe the man younger
parties.
brother.
Okay.
Or elder
I
brother.
understand
woman
that
can
one.
contest the paternity of a child. A man can contest the paternity of his child.
Okay.
But not.
I needed to
I
understand
still
that.
stand on the fact that it is not opened to a third party.
Obviously.
Whether a grandfather or a grandmother or an
I have
aunt.
my reservations. Do you understand?
So what are your reservations?
Okay. The notion here in Spotlight is third party and the definition of third party. All right. Who is a third party in a family? What kind of family? You understand? But I know one thing that like I said, our problem is Westernization.
Bam, I agree.
But you cannot take away from me. This is the world
Wait
we live in.
now. I know. It's the world we live in. Am I disputing it? No way. No way in hell am I going to dispute that. This is our reality right now. Okay, we are a product of Westernization and globalization. It's okay, it's fair. Yeah. The white man or the Western man or in the West, priority, okay, is given to the nuclear families, man, woman, and children. They have told us that. Why I don't trust them is because tomorrow they can decide that family is man, dog, and snail.
Yeah,
Even in England.
No, wait.
In
Yes,
England, the definition of family has
changed.
Totally.
Now I will not.
Yes,
I will
it
not
has.
trust.
It has changed.
I will not trust that because I know perennially, prior to now, family is not nuclear. It's very deep. Okay. When we came, you don't go to marry as a man. It's a we thing.
It's a family thing.
It's a family
That's like,
thing.
go and bring your family.
Do you understand? So now there is family head. You're not the head of the family. You're trying to build your clan that possibly when you're an ancestor, they can drop, okay, he was the head of our family. You know, as a person who is just marrying right now, okay, you know, before you lay claims to being a family head or have a family of your own, the generations will be so plenty long after you're gone. All right. So right now in that family that you are a member, you're not the head of that
I
family.
have a question.
Wait. You're not the head of that family. Okay. So third party If your father, okay, who sees that this child ought to be a member, okay, of this clan, of this family, you think he doesn't have any justifiable grounds, to ask questions? Questions, that will demand answers that will border on proof. And how do you make those proof? Is it not by DNA test?
No, my question now is that, are you suggesting that for each of us now, our paternity is dependent on our family members?
How?
No, is that what you're saying? That now for me, as I am old, at this age, my paternity is dependent on what my uncle or my auntie feels.
Excuse me.
So now, once my father dies, my aunties and uncles will sit down and determine our paternity.
Does your paternity, is your paternity dependent on how much you resemble your father or your mother?
It depends on my father's acknowledgement.
It depends on your father's acknowledgement.
That's very key in paternity.
Okay, when your father acknowledges, that's true. Your biological paternity or your biological relationship to your mother and it doesn't. How do you justify it?
I don't get that. I don't get the question.
Okay, now listen.
Yes.
The thing is this. Prior to now, all right, medical advancements, biotechnology, fertility, and all of that. IVF, name them. It never used to be a practice. Surrogate motherhood, it never used to be a practice back in the day. If a woman does not give birth or does not give birth biologically, they believe she's barren. Most of the time, they don't even check if the man is even fertile. Okay, enough. That's why I'm saying that back in the day, the society used to be very patriarchal. And it used to be very unjust, and suffocating for the woman back in the day. But what I'm saying is, if there is a claim to, okay, this is mine, or this person is a member of this family, okay, by way of African traditional and cultural ordinances and practice, okay, you are not in place to say absolutely, to lay an absolute claim of the membership of that person into that family if there is a question of a doubt by members of that family. This person no look like us. Do you understand? Maybe the family people, okay, say, this person, no, we know they get albino. Do you understand?
And if the father says, na me get albino.
Okay.
If the father says, na me get the albino.
If the father says, na me get albino. That's why I'm saying back in all those deities.
No, you are going to back in the days. We are talking about the present day realities.
If the father says, na me get am, and the mother says, na me get am, okay, it is absolutely correct.
Okay.
But if the father is late, okay, or the mother is late, unfortunately, and then a question of maternity or paternity arises, okay, you're not going to make assumptions. Say, okay, him been the, see as him been the mama been carry them all the time.
You know where you're wrong.
Where am I?
Or I will take that back. My point is, during the lifetime of both parents, they acknowledge that child. So once they die, it is not open to a third party to start questioning. Why didn't you question it during their lifetime? It's not subject to a third party.
Okay, but is it possible to maybe take legal steps and ask? Because the truth is...
land.
Yes. So, for example, now my younger brother Pikin.
Yes.
Where he accept them. You understand?
They lived as a family.
They lived as a family.
Come. I'm sorry. There's another thing that will work in favor of that child. When a child is born within a valid and subsisting marriage, there's something called presumption of legitimacy in favor of that child. And for you to rebut it, you have to rebut it beyond reasonable doubt.
In the court of law?
Yes. Because the law assumes that once a child is born in a marriage, it belongs to the husband of that woman. That is the assumption under native law and custom, right? Under the custom that you're talking about. There are some customs in Nigeria that once you pay the bride price of a woman, right? Any child conceived of that woman belongs to that
Belongs
husband.
to you. Yeah, no.
So, even if 3 or 4, if you bring, the man Koro knows that it doesn't belong, the children don't belong to him. But because he has paid the bride price, he will claim the children.
Uh-huh.
You know? No,
Yeah, there is,
She's explaining.
the customary laws vary now. It's
No, I
not,
said
it's
there
not
are
one
some-
size
some
fits
customs.
all.
That's what
Did
she
you hear?
said.
I
So.
said there are some customs. Once you pay, that other man can only claim the paternity of his children if he returns the bride price.
I want-
Even after the death of that husband, right? If you don't return the what's it called, bride price to that husband's family, any child produced after that marriage, after the death of that husband, still remains to the old, how do I call it, the late husband. So even under native law and custom, there's a presumption of legitimacy. Under statutory marriage, there's a presumption in favor of that child. So a child that is born in marriage, who lived as a member of that family and was acknowledged by his parents, cannot be disputed.
In
Can I
a case,
also, sorry, Nedu, sorry. Can I also
let me land. Cannot be disputed by a third party, but can be disputed by either of the parents.
Okay. Can the child
That's
also,
what I'm saying.
child,
Sorry. Go ahead.
Can the child also ask questions? Because there's this thing that happened in my village. The child was grown. But to him, as he was growing, this is my father and this is my mother. Like you
Yes.
said, third party might not come to question, but third party will sniff around and they will do yumu. And the child
You don't
hear
hear.
it. It happened that this particular guy, he has grown in that family, and all his life he has believed that he belongs to the man and the wife. When it was now time for him to do, he's a man, age grade, all these things. And when he stands up to talk, he starts to hear side comments,
Hi.
saying, this one is not part of us, or, who knows what would have, what might have happened when he was small and the father and the mother said, he's our child, no third party. And that happened. And that child went straight to his mother because his father was late. He went straight to his mother to say, who is my father? These people are saying that the man is not really my father. Who is my father, please? After the woman said, is your father, the child insisted, you must have to go, DNA, I don't know, but really, I need to confirm that this thing that these people are saying is true.
It is fantastic.
And the mother took steps, and finally, he discovered that he was not the child of the man. And he started
How
looking
did they
for-
discover?
Is their problem. The woman
No.
had
You
him,
were going to
and
ask.
the man
You were asking that can an adult want to know his paternity? It is fine. In that case, it is voluntary. Now, if I, at my age, I look at Nedu and say, Nedu probably is my dad, I can't compel Nedu to be my dad. I can't compel
I'm not even
because
rich to be your dad.
I can't compel him. I can have, I might suggest it. But if you legally, the court cannot compel Nedu to go and do a DNA because I am an adult. And even if Nedu says this lady looks like my child, once I'm of age, the court cannot compel me to go and do any DNA. It will just be in our mind too. Legal.
So nothing can be
I
done.
ask
about
you
it.
You can't compel adults now. You can't force parentage on adults.
So if the mom refused, that could have gone.
Refuse that what?
Like if when the guy was asking the mom, tell me my father, and the mom refused.
No. If she says that is your father, if he's not satisfied, voluntarily, he can take the samples of his alleged father's family and conduct his DNA. It is a voluntary process. It is different from compelling.
Which means, in the case where the man is married to the woman and the man dies, and the family of the man
public.
is now, is that either the family of the man or the public is pushing for DNA to be conducted. By what you're saying is you're saying that the woman is not obligated right now to do the DNA,
And
no matter what the public says.
I'll tell you why.
Why?
Two things works in our favor.
Okay.
If that child was born during the lifetime of her husband and it was a valid marriage, the law is already in support of that child.
Okay.
And the second thing is, if that child was acknowledged during the lifetime of that man, and there was no dispute, right? It works in her favor.
Okay.
Now, the element of now approaching a court, right, to compel. Now, for you, under the child right law, section 63, you can dispute the paternity and maternity of a child, but only by someone who is a part of the proceeding. Now, a dead person cannot go to court to dispute.
Okay.
So it will work against the third part. There's no provision
In the law for that.
There
So
is none.
if the public is clamoring for it, is not
I don't know
except-
about public because a public do not have any locus.
So
Let's
what about
be-
the family of, say, for example, now the man?
They don't have any locus.
Please, I have a quick question. I might be moving us away a bit.
No, wait first, before you move us away, make I just say something, Abeg. First, look, in my opinion, no. I know be sunlight now. Why do you You know, this is my opinion. It is true what Barr said, though, okay, that no one has, any legitimate claim to,
Ask for
a
DNA.
suit for a DNA, okay, by
Third party.
yes,
Yes.
third party. But we also have to understand, all right, that there are some actions that are legally correct but morally wrong.
Accepted. Accepted.
Legally correct, but morally wrong. Now, a child who is at infancy thrown into public spotlight of people as enlightened, and aware, with a numerical strength of over 200 million. Okay. That child or whoever that kind of a child is swimming against the tides, enabled, okay, by the knowledge and protection of the law, okay, of the mother, that favors the mother, okay. It's not a big deal, okay. If anybody, members of the society, they don't have any right to go to the court to compel you to do a DNA test. But that public opinion poll is already toxic. Too toxic for the head of a very innocent child who never negotiated his way into this world, has done no wrong to anybody. Maybe his only crime was to have been born. I don't know, to have existed as a human being. And then it is anti-maternity and humanity, okay, for you to pitch him against a very toxic and malicious society that lies ahead. Okay, I'm not trying to say that one should, chicken out in the face of bullies. No, but you should know when to fight. You should know when to sheath your sword. It's not about you. If you know that it is
100%.
true, and come on, there's nothing there. Do that, and then out of 200 million, you can identify just two. Charge them with defamation of character, okay? And then let the law take its course. And then the same public that were bashing you, the same members of the society that were bashing you, even a member of that society, a member of that family, okay, maybe it can be listed among, okay, so that it can be a deterrent to other people who
Bishop,
say things.
I completely agree with you that morally, just for the sake of that child, if she, as a guardian, thinks that it's in the best interest of the mother of that child to resolve the paternity of that child, I totally accept. The only thing I will stand against is compelling it. That is the element. You cannot compel. But on our own, if she thinks it is in the best interest of her child to resolve the paternity, I think she should do it. But she's not subject, she's not answerable to anybody.
Anyone.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay.
Can I?
Carry on.
Yes,
Go.
yeah,
Okay,
carry on.
so
Give
so
her the-
real quick, I'm going to move us a bit because
Yes, please.
and you guys shouldn't say that. Yeah. No, not you guys. Them.
It's okay.
So if a man brings another child from outside into a family, do you consider that paternity fraud?
His maternity fraud.
What do we
No,
call
no, no.
that?
Hold on.
What do we call
can
that?
you say it again?
Okay, I'm married to Nedu now. And Nedu
You go
brings
kill me for us. You can't marry me.
Okay, I'm
During the
listening.
course of the
and
marriage.
Nedu brings another child, maybe from Ezinne, that okay, this is your child. Start taking care of this child.
No,
And
no, no. What
I'm not
you
the
mean-
mother of the child.
No, you mean that if a man brings in a product of an extramarital affair
Yeah.
into his
Yes.
home,
Is that paternity?
there's no
fraud?
element of fraud. Listen, you need to understand that women and men are different.
Oh.
Biologically, we are composed differently.
Yeah.
A man cannot commit paternity
He
fraud.
cannot,
He
right? That's
cannot.
what I want to know. So what do we
Because
call
he is
that?
not the carrier. That is an intolerable behavior in the marriage.
Okay.
If that is adultery, that is whatever they want to call it. But it's not a paternity
But it is
fraud.
more socially acceptable than the paternity.
Biologically, it is.
Okay.
Realistically, it is.
Okay.
So don't be say man fit go outside go.
Enough
get
it.
more-
No, not be like
to
that.
even buttress what I've said, it is in the best interest.
No,
That
don't be
child,
ask,
so that child knows his parentage from beginning. He knows his family. He knows his lineage. But in the other case, you have defrauded a whole person of his life. You have taken away his life, his lineage, his everything that
Identity.
comprises
What are the
his
punish-
identity. Thank you. You have taken it away. So that is why it is more severe when it is done by a woman.
But why is it? What kind
Well,
of
for women,
punishment?
no.
What kind of punishment? What kind of punishment? Because the last I heard that paternity fraud is 7 years in prison. I don't know. I don't know.
Which prison?
I don't know.
There's
So
nowhere in the world is a universal problem,
okay now.
but it is not an offense.
Okay. Now the paternity. Don't come forget my question. No. Now that.
You
Do
said
you want us
7
to
years.
prescribe? Do
said
you want?
7
Do you
years.
want a prescription, a roundtable prescription of a jail term or a punishment?
Now the question okay, I remember the question. Now the question is, what kind of punishment do they is it in the law to be meted out to people that engage in paternity fraud? Because most of the times it is the men that take the brunt of this whole thing. Like the one that I heard, the man didn't know. The children were all grown. The father is here. The son is almost 30-something years. They were, I don't know how many, I think they are 4 thereabouts. So he wanted to move. He don't move 2 of the brother or 3 of them, of the siblings to Yankee. So it was not like for him to move the mom and the dad. Then I said, okay, for you to move, you have to now do a DNA to confirm that this man is really your father. Only for him to do DNA. Now finding out that 4 of them, none of them belong to the man.
So what are you advocating for?
Punishment.
Hold on.
What's the punishment?
Hey,
Let me tell you something. You need to understand that this.
do you know most men, they are so, it's so bad that they find out at the time that they cannot even marry again. They cannot even start looking forward to giving birth again. They now start emotional trauma, psychological trauma, all those things. And then most times they go say to the woman, maybe the man not they doing well. Maybe like one said, if a man is cheating, he deserves to be giving a child that is not his own. What are the kind of punishments that is in provision in the law to be meted out to women that do this
There's
in
none
deterrent
yet. There's
to
none.
others?
There's
well,
none.
as we
So there's none?
Hold on,
Hey.
Nedu. As we speak, right? There is none. But the moment you say there should now be consequences, punishment for adult for what's it
Paternity
called?
fraud.
Then adultery too should be punishable.
Adultery is punishable now.
It's not.
Where?
Where is the
Adultery, when you're, if you're,
law.
yes,
By law,
now
where is
you
it?
can sue.
It's
If
a grant for divorce.
it's a grant for
It's
divorce
a
now,
grant-
and then
it's
we
not a
know
grant
how
for
divorce works now. When you divorce, somebody can come to your house with palm slippers and charger, and then live with a mansion now.
I didn't get that.
You collect your money, they share the
Your
money.
properties, shared properties.
For
Of
emotional
course,
stress.
Now. Yes, now.
everything.
So I just come to your house. with palm
That is
slippers.
what. So in the
that's
case of the
the
woman now,
that's the penalty.
what is now the penalty of the woman?
And that's adultery. Paternity fraud equals adultery.
Now, another question I want to ask: some women, because I don't sell for social media attire. Why should he in the face? If I go see some content creators waiting for TikTok, when the day the man tells me to do DNA of my child, that relationship is done, that marriage is done, and then because of the way paternity fraud is rampant these days, a lot of people are advocating for the DNA test should be done at birth.
I completely disagree. You know why? There's no reason why you should disagree. How do I call it? Make it compulsory. It's a thing that you can do on your own. It's not hard. Any man can do the DNA of it. You don't have to make it a subject of, we have the law.
Maybe he does not want the woman to know. No.
Hey, you can do
go
it
and
now.
do it
Just the air
Yeah.
of a child. Swap the mouth. You can do it privately.
But
Without letting your
I don't
wife
think
know.
I don't think it is about compelling. Maybe you just get it as much as like
Part of
you
hospital
do.
bill.
Yeah, you do the DNA, and it is upon the DNA
No,
test
you know why
that
I
a birth
disagree?
certificate is going to be issued. That's how national.
carry your
yes.
Why I disagree
Yeah.
is that it will destabilize families. You don't need to tell your wife at the point of the birth of a child, a woman that just gave birth, that I am disputing.
But she was expectant of the baby for
No,
9
now
months.
you can
now.
do it
It's not
privately.
It's not shocking that she's going to be
You
giving
don't need
birth
a
to
court
another
order
person's
to,
child.
you don't need a court order
It's
to
not
go
shocking.
to a laboratory now.
No, I believe they should do the
No, it's
DNA
not, it's
at
not
birth
court
too.
order.
You
It
can
is a
do it.
legislation.
Wait, there's no need for a legislation.
They should make it part of the whole package.
Yeah.
The
You
whole
can, as a
hospital.
man, you can make it as a part of your package.
No. This is what people are
So it
saying.
shouldn't be something that the law would compel. You are saying it should not
Why?
be something that the law would compel anyone.
Why
to
should
do.
the law?
That's what
When
she's
you
saying.
can do it voluntarily,
By-
why waste the judicial time? For
By
that?
saying doing it in private, does it mean you can do it without your wife knowing?
Thank you.
Yes,
But
But
isn't
that's
that
where
bad?
everyone is getting
Isn't that
offended.
bad?
No, it's not.
No, so that she won't get offended.
What if she finally finds out that you did
so
it?
that she will not get offended.
So now emotional, this
I
thing
don't
now we dey-
understand you.
What
Now
if
we
you
dey go
finally
for now.
finds out that you
Now,
did it?
wait.
Since you're doing it in
When you are
private for
getting
her.
married to a woman, what are the
When
pillars of a
Yawa
marriage?
gas like come no say no.
Trust is one of the pillars of a marriage.
Leave the pillars. When she dey fuck outside, you know think of the
Nedu, you're
pillar.
not getting the point.
She is getting the point.
I'm getting it.
Hold on, guys. What I am saying is that if you want to make it a policy in your marriage to conduct DNA on your children, is absolutely fine. It's something you can do at your own discretion. You don't have to announce it. You don't have to tell your wife.
Yeah.
Because the issue of trust will be broken.
Excuse me, please. Excuse me.
don't
Why
have to
are
tell
laws-
her.
excuse me. No, hold on. Why are laws made? Laws are made because it has to service a need or maybe a deficiency, okay, an ethical deficiency, all right, in the society. If we do not make laws, okay, against burglary or theft, okay, the society may be ungovernable. Now, this crime or a particular part of crime is getting to become a menace. It never used to be. There are no laws that protect people who are likely going to be victims. Let us make a law, all right, to protect the people who are going to be victims, because the numbers are increasing. The number of the victims are increasing. That is the reason why laws are made.
And the sad part,
And now,
most
this
men
is-
don't even talk.
Do you understand? Because
They will not
now,
tell you.
Laws are made for that reason. If you are seeing that this thing is increasingly becoming a menace, it wasn't so in 1960, and now you look at it, the numbers are going on an
It's
all-time
not
high.
law.
Okay, you have to make a law for protection. If you do not make a law that safeguards the society, then what the hell are you there for?
But sir, there was this video I saw of a woman that did DNA, of a man did DNA for his children. They are twins, yeah. And one of the kids didn't have, like, how will I put it? It's not his according to the DNA. But they later discovered that the woman's gene is stronger than the man's own. So things like this
Even
can
if it
cause
is chinos.
trouble.
See, some
Even if now, what
cause
ego
trouble.
percentage?
There's no way.
There's no way.
Listen,
It's either 99.9 or 0
But
or no
it's
probability.
actually stronger and it's actually caused the problem
Na
until
lie,
they went
na lie,
back.
na
I
lie.
will actually bring out that video for you
Wait
after the show.
now,
and show you.
wait.
No,
Never take light
Well,
for the lab
it
when they
did
do the
happen.
test.
It did
Hold on
happen like
first.
that.
No, it's not,
Wait
it's not.
first.
So there was
Listen.
no DNA.
What I knew was at that point.
What makes a human being?
DNA is our composition.
What I knew was at that point,
It was-
they overruled it that that man was the father of the child. But when they went back again, then they discovered something about, the woman's genes or
That's
something.
it. That was
the-
damage
so
control.
maybe there was
I don't know.
There was a
I
mistake.
don't know, but
That
I'm
is
telling
not
you
possible.
that things like this can occur if we.
Another thing that can occur, Deity, another thing that can occur is baby swap in the hospital.
Yeah,
Yes.
baby swap.
Okay.
That's another thing.
Baby
That one
swap in the
happens.
hospital.
The night my mom had me, she
Do you
didn't
understand?
blink.
She
She didn't blink. She just kept looking at me.
Yeah, baby swap happens.
Yeah,
So-
baby
You want
swap.
them.
So the woman can actually be very innocent. Okay, and then they swap her baby, and then one gist becomes another. That okay, this is the baby, and blah 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 blah, and then the woman, because there is nothing as frustrating
As you knowing.
as knowing that you didn't do this thing, but you can't prove it.
There are
No,
even
you can prove
examples.
it.
There are even
No, you can
examples
prove it.
where the court
I'm
now
so-
compel the woman
It's
to
hard-
do a DNA maternity test.
Yes.
It's hard to prove the truth to people who are masquerading like good people, yet they are an angry mob in disguise. Do you understand? It's hard to prove to people who have already formed brick walls of opinion around themselves. You cannot permeate them with what you hold as truth.
I don't get it.
But wait, but is it possible? So the thing is, when you provide evidence and you can prove beyond reasonable doubt,
All not very
it's
reasonable.
not whether
All
it's not what you think about it. But some people will never accept. There are people who, after they show them everything, they go see say
they go
na
manipulate
lie.
them.
Say they manipulate
See,
them.
that's
So you
that's
don't
what
go
I'm
disturb
saying.
yourself about that one.
You know what you're saying. There's a difference between fantasy and reality. You see, just imagine, God forbid, you now, you go and put to bed. You are enlightened. You can stand up in defense of yourself. There are some people who are weak and vulnerable.
True.
Okay.
So what's your point?
My point is, let it not even happen at all. Okay, let it not even happen at all. Because first of all, what hits you is emotions of fear and confusion. You don't even know what is happening to you. First of all, if there are some people who are very extremely religious, okay, who are extremely maybe spiritual, they'll think that, my enemy stunned the baby inside of my womb, and all of that. So when you're in that moment of distress, sometimes you don't even know what and how to think.
True.
So what
Well,
are you
that's the
advocating for?
situation.
So you're saying
No, what
that
I'm advocating is for, first of all, let us check our hospital systems, to curb that menace.
Yes.
And make sure also that even if there is an existing legislation that prohibits it, with certain offenses, they make the punishment heavier and weightier.
and then adultery too should become an
How can
offense.
adultery? Well, I'm not advocating
So
for men.
that men,
Yes,
so for
so-
men that also have children
exactly.
outside of wedlock should
So
also
what she's
face
saying is,
consequences.
you cannot look at this and say, even though maybe when you
But now
judge,
has there always been, is it a crime? What of women that are okay with a man marrying 3 wives, which is in our culture and all those things? How is that a bad thing?
but you married the person now. What the question here is, you bring.
Do you know there are millions of women that are okay with their husbands having girls outside?
My dear.
That's
What
when
are we talking
there
about?
you go.
How can we see if paternity fraud is a crime? What is a crime cannot be equated to something that is seemingly not a crime.
What she's
Nedu,
telling in the
Nedu.
eye of the law today, there's no punishment for it.
Nedu,
Now, what is she they talk?
Nedu,
There's no
have you
punishment for it.
have you ever heard of this assertion? The gods favor the brave. Yeah. See all these cases of married 3 wives, 10 wives, and 5 wives. Yeah. The society favors the rich.
That's the funny thing.
Just have money.
Just have money. You can get away with everything.
All is fair in
Why-
money and money.
Why do you
understand?
think? Why do you think?
Just have money.
Why do you think some ladies will tell you if you not get money, your prick not supposed to stand?
You don't have any
And
rights.
then you go see, why should he even marry? Why should he even marry another wife? Who is he? What does he? But Nedu can marry 52 wives and you're okay with it, you go to open door for one of your wife, you go to say, oh, God, when? Meanwhile, I then go they bash another person. For example,
That's society.
go they bash you, they don't
Yeah.
I had
double
one
standards.
story. I don't know how true this story is. I heard a story that a man went to have do vasectomy and he didn't tell his wife. The wife wanted more kids, but he didn't want any more. So he went to do vasectomy. He did not tell his wife. So the woman is busy saying, let children come now. And he's busy saying, we are trying. And, So after a while, the woman got pregnant.
Okay.
Right? I don't know
The trial walk.
I don't know how true this story is. So the man, the situation, as at the time I heard it, I don't know how true this story is. Is that he is not saying that the child is not his because he is not telling the wife that he had vasectomy. And whether the wife now went outside to go and have the baby.
So both of them are practically lying to themselves. You see, something about this
So
society.
what was done in that situation?
Chances they say.
So what was done?
The family is there
It's
now.
possible.
He's a friend that knows that he had that vasectomy.
This one,
And he
this
could
one.
have gone to check now.
There's a story.
You
there's-
can- you should just do a DNA on that
sometimes
now.
self.
He can fail. So there's an opportunity
sometimes
for
so, yes.
failure.
He
There's-
is not telling the wife that he had vasectomy.
Sir.
The law, I want to ask
Why
you
you
one
won't tell
question
them now?
about, we're saying there should be punishment
I
for
don't go
paternity
do
fraud.
anything. You tell me.
There's another one that I was telling husband material that happened to somebody that I know, 100%, I'm giving him the gist. Now, this guy was married to this wonderful, beautiful woman for 9 years. They have been praying for a child for 9 years. As they pray for Pekin, then they go hospital, go they check. Oh, check this one. They go say, let us try this one. Let us try that one. Miscarriage go happen. Until one day, this man dey house. Another man come knock for door. Big. Now he open door. Sir, who are you looking for? What if is this the house of, for example, is it the house of Ezinne? He said, no, Ezinne is not around. You want to see her? I said, no, it's not Ezinne I want to see. It is you that I want to see. What do you want to see me for? Apparently, this guy that came to knock at the door has been in prison because of waiting that woman do. That woman now in wife also. He's been married to that one for 5 years. And been married to this one for 9 years.
Oh, wow.
Meanwhile, sometimes where he go talk say he dey go see him mama. Now this other man house. Now he dey go. Now money where he borrow, where cause issue, where he not fit pay, now land the man to prison.
She's a bad person.
You understand? Now to cut the long story short, when they come catch the matter of the thing, come and go meet the mama. The mama say, 18 day there. The mama apparently married to 3 husbands.
At the same time.
At the same time. Now, if you see the guy now, the guy don't sin.
Hey.
What kind of punishment do you give to such kind of person? And they'll tell you it's not in the law.
God will judge.
Because the numbers
It
of the
is
people,
sad.
the numbers of people who are actually
I was coming
not
there is low.
plenty.
Now, in the case of this one that is rampant everywhere, why can't we make a law as a deterrent?
It will happen.
Why? It happen. Meanwhile, when man they polygamous, then go pour am hot water
Who
or
they
pour am acid.
Who they pour am?
Who they see now?
They're not. I've not seen where they poured hot water. Acid
They
on the
leave all
polygamous.
this hot water acid thing. See, Nedu,
When they do.
have money.
So we don't give our
Just
lawmakers
have
them
money.
assignments like
Or-
this. Let them go cook
money.
the law.
When you
So
have,
I have a
don't
question.
see it,
There are lots of things that are excusable.
seeing the light of the day.
I have a question.
you say what?
She
Hold
said
on.
she
don't see it in the light of
You don't see what?
They
Why
don't.
not?
Legislation in that area because it's an intrusion into private life, private family life. It's going to cause a lot of problems.
A woman will come out go give him my kuntus to another person.
It's a very sad, it's morally, it's sad. It's a very sad situation. But to be a legal question.
Excuse me, if you take the life of your child, maybe by way of you think you're disciplining the child, okay, and then you take the life's child.
The child's life.
You take the child's life, okay. Will you be charged with
Yes,
either
sir.
aggravated, second degree, but
a crime.
Criminal
It's a
offense.
crime, Abba.
yes, to kill.
It is a crime to kill. is it not prospectively dividing that family?
No, it's not because
What if a man?
That's
hold on,
another
hang
case.
on. There was a newly born child, maybe a set of twins, and there is a fight between a husband and a wife. The husband kills the wife, or the wife kills the husband. The law is not emotional. Someone has to be there to take care of the child, but no one has to take care of the child because you committed a crime, right? And then you have to go and serve life imprisonment, or you get hung by the hangman. Okay, leaving those children, up against a very sad and hostile and annoying society, to be trained without either parents. Is that not bad enough? Is that not family depleting and pulverizing? It is too. So maybe possibly also, since you say that this issue will tear families apart, let them go to the criminal law to go and amend the law so that if husband and wife fight, one kills another, and then the children are alive, they should keep one. Leave this thing. What is bad is bad. What is bad is bad.
What is morally wrong is morally wrong. It might not be legally wrong
in
as
the eye of the law. So we're getting to the point where we would wrap. Very important question, and this has created problems in families because you don't talk say be rich, get money. Later, this kind of things they cause problem. The will. First, there's a misconception for some people. If you tell them, say, have you written your will? The person go feel like say you wish death. You they wish death upon them. It's not something that is, maybe popular in this part of the world. Because person go tell you, say, you when you young like this, what you the right way for? You don't want to die. Many people see it as preparing for your exit.
Okay.
So I would like, from the legal perspective now, and maybe some of the cases that you have handled or you have seen or heard, how best to approach this problem. You say that problem, I will call them. Yeah, okay, it's a misconception in our society. How people can become better educated to know that this thing is something when we say they prepare yourself so that problem no go there. There's a celebrated case of a popular person who got married to somebody else. The person can die. First, it took a long time before they buried the person because court case, this one, that one. And to those people, not be even the person when die, now the property, when they go share, now it cause problem. So how do you think people can deal with this situation so that it doesn't become problematic?
Okay, people having aversion to writing wills is not a Nigerian problem. It's a universal problem. Even this Western world, will writing is not very popular. It's only that their law takes care of intestacy. And what intestacy means is that if somebody dies without making a value, they have laws that works. That is why you think that a lot of people do it there. Not many. It's not as popular as we think. It's a human nature to be averse to anything that reminds you of death. However, the problem in Nigeria is that we have the law that takes care of all these things. It's only that people are not willing to test the law. There is a law that caters for intestacy. Though, the best thing you can do for your family is to plan for your death. Because death is inevitable, whether you like it or not. It gives a lot of advantages, especially when you have children below the age of 18. A will gives you you can plan their lives. You can appoint guardians. You can do a trust for them. You can do life insurance. You can make, educational trust and do a lot of things in preparation for death. But if you don't do it, the law, right, already makes provision for intestacy. Now, succession is closely related to the kind of marriage that you contract. If you marry under the law, and that is under the statutory marriage. Under the act. Then there's a provision. If you die intestate, the administration of estate law will take over. But that is if you marry under what's it called?
Statutory.
The statutory marriage. If you marry under native law and custom, succession is by bloodline. It does not cater for spouses. Okay. As a spouse, you cannot inherit if you marry under native law and custom. So what would happen in that situation is, it depends on, if it's a man that died, it depends on his culture. So if I'm a Yoruba woman, under the native law and custom of the Yoruba people, it's not gender specific. Children are children. However, it's according to the number of wives that the man has during his lifetime. And now it doesn't even mean wives alone. It depends on number of women that gave birth. So if you are married under native law and custom of the Yoruba people, and you as the wife have 10 children, and you're in the house, and one concubine somewhere has just one child, if the man dies without a valid will, the inheritance will be subject to native law and custom of the Yoruba people. And what would happen is there are two ways that they can distribute the assets of the man. It's either they use the Ori-Ojori or they use the Idigi. Idigi is the most favored. And Idigi means the number of women that gave birth. So that woman that had 10, the property will be split into two. So the concubine that had just one would take 10. It would take half.
Half. And the one that has 10 will share half to 10.
Hey.
Except they decide to use Ori-Ojori, and which is according to the number of children. But that child, under native law and custom or under statutory marriage, any child that is born outside of the marriage has entitlement to inheritance. It doesn't matter if the parents are married. So you can't say that because you are married under
any biological child,
biological child of that man.
So meaning that what if there is a question of paternity right now? At the point of death,
and then go do paternity
this
test,
person, because the wife that has 10. That sees that she's likely going to be cheated out of the inheritance. Then taking, they say,
I have one case like that. They're in court as we speak. They're in court as we speak.
Say, no, this one is not a member of this family.
You know the problem with that one? The woman was under the mistaken identity for thinking that she was married under the statute, under the Marriage Act. But when I interviewed her, I knew, because I said, was there a prior marriage to your marriage? She said, yes. Now, that prior marriage was supposed to have been dissolved.
But it wasn't.
It was dissolved, but the man contracted the marriage with her before the decree
became absolute. Okay.
And if you marry another woman one day before the decree absolute, the second marriage will be invalid. So now, because our marriage is now invalid, both of them, and concubine, but they're both concubines now.
Oh.
And she's been married for 20-something years. So they are locked. They are locked in court now. So the concubine now is fighting for half of it. So they are in court. It will get up. So that's why inheritance cases go to court. They are there. So the best thing you can do for your family is just.
What's the worst inheritance case you've ever gotten?
They are different today a lot. Different thing. Yeah. You see, okay. What about children from the same parents?
When they fight.
Yeah, that one's even...
It's dirty.
It's always very dirty. Inheritance matters are always very dirty. So when I have clients, I always advocate, especially for men, that you will see some children, you see them on the street, and you wonder, but this guy's father was very rich during his lifetime. Once they die and they don't make all these provisions, the children go hungry. I know a man that died, right? And he kept 150 million at that time with his friend, like 2 weeks before, and the wife didn't know. We knew about it, but nobody could talk.
Why?
Well, I wasn't a witness. We know about it. But if the friend is not speaking, I'm not going to speak on his behalf. You know Nigeria now.
Was there any written agreement?
But
there was nothing written. And his wife is in penury.
I think this is where most men, this is where I now say this thing to a lot of men that are out there that are listening to us. If you're training your child, you have a child, you know you're making money for yourself, try and, train your child in a way that no matter how much you have, that child will be able to survive, on their own. If this case of living inheritance, and the children know that you're leaving inheritance for them, sometimes it makes them lazy.
And Nedu, that's another subject.
It makes them lazy sometimes.
This is another subject. This is another topic. What I'm focused now is when you have underage children and you don't make provisions for their health, for education. And a lot of men just die. I had my mechanic who was supposed to deliver a car the next day. He went to bed and he never woke up. And And he died. People died like chicken. So that, God forbid, it won't happen to me. It can happen to anybody. So once you're over the age of 18 and you started acquiring property, there's nothing wrong in just making preparation.
That's what I say. As you add property, as you add investment, as you add properties, just they edit your will. As you add the edit, as you add another one, edit.
There's nothing
just a
wrong.
little unrealistic, you know.
Why?
No, I know. I'm not opposed to it too. But look at her from this time. Nedu, when is your next show out of this country?
June.
June. What's when
May.
May now, right? Okay, June.
April.
So when April.
April.
Yeah.
Okay. So June is your next show. Husband Material, your next show.
Yeah, he's coming with
Next
us.
show.
Yeah, it's
I get weddings when
20th.
okay, outside
When are you getting out of this country? Like
In 2 weeks.
Oh God. Okay, you.
Okay, what's the issue?
Hello, you Uncle. When are you traveling?
I can't disclose that.
Okay. All right. Since you can't disclose, you're disclosed. Okay. June, ba. It looks funny for you to pack this night.
I didn't get that.
you're traveling in June,
Yes.
but you have packed your bag already in April. That's what
You're having
But that's a different knowledge, isn't it?
I don't.
like
I
1
get what
minute.
he's
You're
trying to do.
prepping. Okay. You're prepping for a comfortable exit. You know, that's it.
Okay, I know where you're going to.
Yeah.
Has it packed anything?
No, I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying it's bad, but it's awkward. You know?
It's kind of awkward.
Yeah,
though.
it's awkward for you to. You know how when you want go international.
It
you don't
why
keep
the time was
passport. Everything. Me, where they
Your
forget
box,
things. Me, where they forget things like anything. Do you understand? I don't pack everything. Keep them very close to when I they wake, they look at that I go carry all and no miss anything. When you pack that way, you know, like you are leaving the next afternoon, okay, when actually your flight is by 9 p.m. Sometime in June or July, and this is April, you know, it looks awkward. That's how awkward it looks when you're writing and editing will.
Because that land where you buy ad, if you broke, you want to send one land, you can't go edit and
when you're writing and editing will at your daughter's first birthday. Do you understand? Okay. To some extent, your mother, okay, you have people, okay, who you're going hell and hearty, very healthy. Okay, you're coming back home and then you're saying mommy to them. People are saying daddy to you. You get. And then your wife has huge expectations of your helping train this daughter of hers together so that she can become a better version of you and her, right? While she's and then you're editing wheels. It is.
No, what we usually advocate for is
it's
that
funny.
you amend your will or you update it when you have major milestones that
It
happen
is your
to you.
language in that will. This is the last will and testament. You have no idea. You have no You have no idea.
Even
when
me, to
you're
me,
reading
it is
that
scary.
thing, this is the last will.
It's like
and
you're wishing yourself
testament
dead.
I'm telling you, the day I will write my
This
will.
is the last
I
will
won't
and
be
testament
myself
of a
for this.
29-year-old man. Come on now. Abasi. It's funny. It's awkward.
Understandably.
Understandably so. Yes,
But-
I agree with you.
To
I don't
save
even think
yourself.
that I can.
You
The day I will do
yeah.
it, for 1 week, I won't be myself.
That's what I'm saying. It's okay.
Now, you know,
but
the crossroads, you go to check.
I'm telling you.
it's the last will and testament.
If you want plug switch, you go say,
And when you are writing your will, I think is the most solemn period of your life. And when you
Reflection.
are true, then when you are true to yourself, there's
Yeah.
no better time to be true to yourself than that.
There's
So it's a very scary thing, but it should be done. That's
It's
the
a necessity.
There's one funny thing. There's one funny thing. You know that when you enter, when you enter bus, you're traveling from Aba to Aba to Enugu.
your normal route.
You go write testimonial.
Yes.
You go fill your name, fill next of kin, fill phone number of
Next.
your next of kin.
That
There
is
is
not-
no moment of
that you be-
solace for me, of pondering for me. as those moments.
Yes.
Because as I'm writing my mother's phone number, I'm pleading the blood.
Then they will
God,
never
please
have to
let them
call
not
this
have
number.
to call my mother's number for
Yes.
my sake. So I feel like that's also how I'm going to feel when I have to write.
Manifest.
Manifest.
Yes.
It's not that it's manifest.
Hey.
It's manifest.
My brother.
You write phone
Manifest.
number of next of kin.
There is
Okay,
nothing.
just
There
in
is
case.
nothing.
Lagos Unsuka.
There is nothing as scary as you see that because you're sitting in an office. No, I don't even know why most of those offices they get low lights. Yes.
Lawyers office, true. True.
What's it called funny for that manifesto? That's how they enter peace mass. Somebody will go and carry the book, they go and say, have you written?
When you are not going live, Nedu, when you are not going to where you are not supposed to go, maybe you from school,
Yes.
they go worry. You won't write. Something will happen to you for road.
See, that will when you sit down, so amount of money, 9 day this bank, so property 9 day here. You just to see how every single toil, every single
Going to somebody
ounce
else.
It's going to
and
somebody.
joule of energy that you're putting in the work, brick upon brick that you
That's
have
how you go
laid
understand,
through
see this
sweat
life.
and tears.
So
Do you understand?
transient.
You're seeding it to people. The irony of it is you're coming out and you're seeing this next of kin then they sag. Is this what I'm slaving for? At a point, I'll be no more. I'll be relegated to obscurity. No, oblivion. That is if and only if I did not live well.
There are a lot of
You
people
know?
like Jackie Chan and the rest of them say they're not going to leave anything for their children. They're not leaving anything. Work your life. Do whatever you want
Some
to
they
do.
give amount to charity.
Some go give them to cats.
Also,
eh.
their
It's
dog.
not fair.
How?
But I don't agree to
I'm
parents
also
not
working
leaving
hard, though, but
inheritance
at
for
least-
Exactly.
I don't
It doesn't make
agree.
sense.
My
Because-
own is if you're going to leave, make sure just try make the children not to know self say they leave because once they know.
There's nothing wrong
Yeah,
with
that's
they
what
know.
I
I think
think,
it's about
because-
how you train your children.
You get-
excuse
you
me.
get one where
you
come
train
back.
them for succession.
Yes.
There's no success without succession. And the problem with us in Nigeria, why we have this generational poverty, is because there's no generational wealth.
Yes.
We don't build generational
And how they train
wealth.
them, which is why when you go to Yankee, when you go to UK, which is why I'm advocating. If you're training your children, train them, discipline them when it comes to
Thank
do
you,
this
not
or do them well.
emergency
So that-
successors.
Go, you go see person go tell you, say, you can never be poor for your life. Do you know the family I came from? I came from this. This one they don't train. You don't all the family business, all this Rothschild, all of them. Their lineage, they there.
Generational wealth.
Generational wealth. You go see some. He get one where the man, where at the head day for yesterday. The man die. The boy dey Yankee. He dey do drugs for Yankee there. He come back. As the man, he do will. The man leave almost everything for the guy. The guy don't sell almost
Go
all the
squander
houses.
am, nah.
Now let me tell you the truth. The mama. The house where remain for village. The guy go there, go sell the
He dey
house.
mad.
The mama now they rent.
They mad.
Now, let me explain.
They
A
mad.
number of times.
And when training them.
Yes,
Is the
training
most
very
important thing. Send them go school when it be say even when they broke, their friend ain't gonna be governor. Now their friend gonna be this one.
Nedu, see, let me tell you something. You will have generation. It's likely you're going to have generational and transgenerational wealth abroad, in the West, in America, and all of that. It's hard to find that here. You know why?
Why?
Because
Community they
see,
collect their own.
karma, let me tell you, most of this so-called wealth that we amass
You got
are
it.
gotten from the public and, the commonwealth of people. It's what people steal, to build transgenerational wealth.
Wealth.
And you know one thing about public funds? It will always
Dissipates.
find itself back into the hands of the
It
public.
dissipates. Yeah.
The public funds will always find its way back into the hands of the public. See those things, they will be sold one after the other. It will last, not just that generation of your children. The next one, don't fizzle into oblivion. Nobody see anything like that again, because
was
you
ill-gotten.
cannot feed fat and have wealth sustenance from public funds and the commonwealth of very poor people.
So what
Well,
are you
that's
saying?
it. That's the point. But for some other people, the problem is they don't train their successors.
That's the thing.
There's no preparation. For some
Until
people,
you train
when-
medical doctor, you come back
when-
like DJ. Now you go no.
when and I always advocate for succession in businesses, time frame, probably over 10 years. It's not something that you just die today and they invite your son to come and take it. You did not show him the secret of the business. And most of the time, the founders of this business take their vision to the grave. They don't share it. They don't transfer it. We don't transfer knowledge. That's why you see that businesses don't thrive when it gets to the second generation. It's lack of adequate preparation, nothing more.
One of the greatest businesses that thrive when it goes to the second generation. This is not an advert. It's God is good. GIG. This is not an advert. But see those guys, their papa do normal transport. They just came in, not just doing transport. They changed the mode of transportation.
There's
They are
nothing
doing
wrong.
logistics. And their logistics
Inheritance is not wrong.
even only in Nigeria. They are doing international. I know how many times I don't use them, send things, come back, or send things, go back. A lot of times.
And I'm praying that the third has that
And
sense.
be another
They
thing.
will
That's the
definitely
And
problem.
Gen Z be the third ones now. You understand? As they talk, say public fund always find a way. This is a
Now,
joke, by the way.
another issue is that
Gen Z go carry the
You
money,
don't-
go
your
buy
blood-
motor for metaverse.
I don't want to forget this. Another issue is that your successor doesn't have to be your blood. We are under that mistaken,
Very true. They can hold it in trust.
Yes.
Yes, you can create trust. Education and all of that, they can't touch it. You can, if your children don't have interest, it's not by force that everybody has to have. I have 3 kids. My first daughter is 19. I had always groomed her to become a lawyer because I can't believe that
That's
I would not have it.
selfishness, though.
Well, I thought she would be because she was telling me
I
she
don't
would
know
be.
why you're going.
All of a sudden, the day this girl was going to go to the university, she just called me over the phone and said, "Mom, I have changed." I almost collapsed. She's in school doing accounting and finance.
That's what I read.
You know, she said, and the second one, what do you want to do? That one too, something else. The third one, that one is not in the line of law. So as I am sitting down here, there's
you're-
no
Lawyer.
yes, and I've
But that's
come to
the selfishness of
but
you
I
to-
have come to the sad reality of that. So now, if I have a thriving law firm, what I would do is I will prepare somebody else to take over, but in trust for my children.
Yeah.
They will still get the benefit of whatever proceeds that comes.
That's
So
smart.
my children don't have to be lawyers to benefit and to have a thriving firm.
Your business.
So if you go to Japan, a lot of businesses are in their 7th, 8th generation. What they do is they bring in external successors that manage the businesses on behalf of the family members.
But the external successor, they have the right to give you whatever it is that you're meant to inherit whenever they wish to, right?
Oh, there's always there will be a structure.
Yes,
There has to be
there's
some
proper
sort of
There has
documentation
to be
now.
So-
a structure. Yes.
But what if they
Just
want
like
to delay it on
They get one
purpose?
particular
They can't,
soup.
no, they
They cannot
never
do that.
off
No,
the
an
fire
administration of
for
a
that soup.
business is
for
this.
generations.
You can administer a business and not be an owner. So there are two different things. The owners are the owners. You bring in people to manage it. That's all.
Yeah, but like mine is like, what if the children, they are grown enough to take over and those external people,
were not
they decided
trained.
that they are not ready to?
That's why I said structure.
And there's
Before
structure
you
in place.
bring- There has
Because
to be
I
a
actually know
structure
a
in
case.
place,
I know a
yes.
case like that is happening.
They are employees, though.
The employees, right?
They are
because
employees.
they are
Employees of the trust.
They are
Yes,
not,
they are
not giving the
employees.
mother or the child the properties because
there's no structure.
They said that they are trying to sort out something. It's been like 10 years plus now.
Wow.
And there's something wrong. You know,
But if
I'm
there's-
not
if
able
there's-
to comment on it because I don't know the full
If there's
fact.
Because-
documentation in
There's a
place,
full brief.
if there's
Because sometimes
documentation
just
in
There's
don't
place,
comment on what
documentation
you
and
don't know.
everything.
Back to waiting. I want to thank God I not forget.
Ba, I've been saying, you say, if na me na, be you na. Man, that's all this one where I just did do this rubbish now. Yeah. My father was a lawyer. Who talks say we want to do law, but you don't get you and me cut off score to do?
Husband material.
no be say I no get cut off.
Jam
cut
was
off.
not jam.
Jam no show. Give my
So
results.
out of my impatience, the cut off score they high, but they was very close
Chai.
to getting it, you know. I say, okay, make I do take jam again. They say, okay, make I go use that cut off score, go look for supplementary admission for,
You.
you know, yes. So now I come to philosophy, you know. So now, so long and short of them.
My mama carry. I remember when my mama carry me go for. I'm out the belly for Kaduna. Carry me go First Bank that year. I wear one line shirt and blue short knicker. My mama tell me, "India na go." But what I say these people that are counting money. Say now what I go do. So therefore, I go school, go read accounting and finance. See me, they do accounting and finance with microphone. talking about public funds. Man, don't forget this thing. I said this to somebody the other day. Talking about public funds going back into the hands of the public. What of this with the Pana police? What they use?
Okay, where they use 15 naira. Where they use checkpoints money.
I remember one of my friends after for school, Faith pay. Who go they take Faith pay? Say your school fees. Now 20 naira where they food. Your career Ghana was go come. Don't come. Anyway, that's a joke, by the way.
Well, which part of law if a woman you are picking?
Well, it depends.
Maritime.
No. I thought that she.
Will have interest.
I thought she. But I didn't know that she was showing interest because she wanted to satisfy.
Such a sweet baby.
Yes.
It's your fertility law that you're just doing like this. If like me now, I have to come and advise that your child. Yeah, you do that law. They have to do election law.
Election petition.
Yes.
Election petition law. Now election petition. You know, basic concern. After election, you cash out. The cash out go do for that.
And another thing again, talking about what children can study. You now we don't become parent or you don't look forward. Say wrapping up. You don't look say your children go become. Your children go begin. They go school maybe like in 5 years or 10 years. Just like Pastor Olamide said the other day. Start nudging them into going into disciplines that you know that in the next 20 or 30 years, you go see now something we go see they make money from, like robotics,
AI.
data, AI, and the rest of tech. Because as times they go, a lot of things they evolve. Now I see stats of people when they say go lose their job to AI. Now the most number of people that are going to lose their job to AI are the Chinese people. When I see the stats, because most of the jobs they are doing, AI AI can do most of those jobs. You understand? So and I then go lose most of the jobs.
Even this thing where they do. When AI don't begin to act,
Yes,
even
AI
don't
imitates voices.
AI now don't begin. Now very soon now we might not be here, but we're gonna get this conversation.
In the metaverse.
In the AI is beginning to have it. Now you can create an advert with Charlize Theron's face. You can create an advert with Brad Pitt's video. With Brad Pitt's face and his voice. Brad Pitt go call Bishop. He may Bishop. He talk and well. So you have to get to the point where anyway.
But if they don't have that brain, what would you do? Because me.
Then they become
The most important thing that to just empower the people.
I wanted to say they will be risky.
I wanted to do software testing.
I wanted to say they will be risky.
I went for computer school. I went for software testing. I didn't know anything. It was like abacadabra.
No, the one that I never understand it more is forex trading and all those things.
I don't know it.
You see as you be now to your parents. Okay, they open MacBook, they do all those kind techie things.
They write code.
They look you. They open mouth. You see those your children. Now so they go be to you very soon.
They're already like that.
You're serious, You go just there like this, so naive, you don't know anything. Now then go there, Alexa.
Okay, because they are born into this world, so it will be easy for them.
Yeah.
We were navigating this world without phones.
Everything is evolving.
But them, they don't know life. We're not there without gadgets.
Yes.
They don't understand the fact that we lived. Yes. That we lived without. So what are you guys doing?
My daughter saw VHS. He's like, so what is this?
But in all honesty, everything is evolving. Everything is
Magic.
So, Ezinne, Bishop, we are super grateful. Olamide, Onifade, we are really grateful. I'm very certain that people have learned a lot from this conversation, and that's what the Honest Bunch podcast is essentially about. Impacting lives and adding value. So we thank you so much for coming and sharing insights. We're grateful that you're there watching. Spread the word. Tell your friends. Continue to watch the best podcast. The best podcast. No arguments now. So thank you so much. God bless you. We're grateful. Thank you.